Birdsong and Mental Health. Certain sounds can be good for us. People often turn to nature as a healthy way to cope with stress. Phrases such as "get some fresh air and exercise" or "stop and smell the roses" remind us of nature's calming benefits. People also consider it relaxing to listen to audio recordings of running water, waves, or singing birds. Sound can have an extensive effect on our sense of well-being. Accordingly, scientists have long sought to understand the effects of certain sounds on people. In a recent study, scientists evaluated the effect that hearing birdsong had on hikers. They monitored a number of hiking trails in a public park with audio recording devices. This helped them create a bird count in the area. They then surveyed visitors to those trails about their impression of bird diversity. They also asked for a report on the visitors' sense of well-being. The next part of the study took place on the same trails, but the scientists used hidden speakers to play recordings of birds singing. That gave the impression that there were more birds in the area. They then surveyed visitors who had heard the recordings. The results of the study indicated that there was a direct relationship between hearing birdsong and an increased sense of well-being. This result builds on prior investigations into the effects of listening to recordings of natural sounds on people. Those studies have shown that recordings of natural sounds can help with stress relief and the ability to focus. However, the reason behind the benefit is not totally clear. Perhaps listening to birdsong is connected to a sense of calm. After all, we encounter birdsong in the peaceful part of the morning or following a storm. Or it might relate to a sense of safety projected by singing birds. They sing when there are no predators nearby. Whatever the reason, listening to birdsong can improve our mental health. The authors of the hiking study had an interesting observation. It was the perception of being in nature with a diversity of singing birds that helped. The authors were reluctant to conclude that just birdsong increased well-being. Instead, they suggested that park managers encourage visitors to enjoy nature quietly, as that provided the greatest benefit. Talk about it. Do you think it is a good idea to create quiet zones in public parks? Why or why not? Word bank. Cope. Playing piano is my favorite way to cope with stress. Extensive. I have an extensive list of things I must buy at the store today. Evaluate. We will ask our students to evaluate the new courses at the end of the semester. Impression. After our conversation, I had the impression that you were unhappy about something. Investigation. Our investigations into the causes of the damage to the bridge are not finished yet. Encounter. People often encounter difficulties when they try to start their own business. Observation. We included several observations and noted areas for improvement at the end of our report. Reluctant. She was reluctant to say anything at first, but I convinced her to talk freely about it. More information. Well-being. Accordingly. Diversity. Perception.